Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 2006. This is Judgment Day 2006. We're here with the SmackDown brand. I almost said brand. Puddy, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to this show.
Yeah, it's a big show. I think.
He's not here, sadly. He's on the
Oh,
other brand now.
oh man, every time. Um, yeah, we are here in the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We have 7 matches that were announced ahead of time. I think 2 extra ones on the show that were not announced. But we've got the Boogeyman taking on Booker T. The WWE World, not the WWE World, just the WWE Tag Team titles, being defended by Batista and Rey Mysterio as they take on the Legion of Doom. Montel Vontavious Porter will challenge Swinger Parisi for his United States Championship. Kurt Angle has put his career on the line in a hardcore match against Mr. Kennedy. R-Truth gets his shot at Gregory Helms, our Cruiserweight World Champion. And for the World Heavyweight Championship, Randy Orton is defending against Shelton Benjamin. And finally, in a last man standing match, the Phenom, The Undertaker, takes on the strongest man in the world's strongest man, the WSM, Mark Henry.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's you good to you good to do it?
Yeah.
Let's do it. We've got a pre-show match here. The Basham brothers, they win. They beat Carlito and Jimmy Yang. I guess some good road agent stuff from Funaki. Yes. Funaki is a tolerable road agent. I guess I got a bonus from it, so maybe he's actually like good at what he does.
But he does have good stats. We've talked about this.
It's fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
I just didn't expect it. That's all.
Yeah. I'm shocked, surprised, and this is the first time I've seen that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh. No, move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Your ears bleed, your eyes blur, your soul is being pulled out of your body. He will never leave you alone, ever. To your end of days, he will exist. He will book shitty pro wrestling, and you can do nothing about it. McMahon forever.
You're here for 3 hours, and you've already bought the pay-per-view. Speaking of people who have already bought the pay-per-view,
Oh,
our Patreons
hey.
over on our Patreon, which you can check out in the description. Thank you once again for all of your continued support. We really appreciate it. And a special shout out to one of our tier 3 patrons, Fast Life One Hand. Thank you very much. Judgment Day.
Yeah, we get that, I don't know, a video package of some kind showing our highlights, highlighting our 2 big matches tonight. 2 of the biggest. I guess they are the 2 biggest, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Biggest in stature, biggest in prize.
I mean, we can definitely highlight that for both these men, it is Judgment Day. And on the one hand, you've got The Undertaker, who plays more into the supernatural elements, that this is some day of divine judgment where he has to face up against a person of enormous mortal strength and prove that the supernatural strength is greater. And on the other hand, Randy Orton has been changing over the last couple of weeks. He's becoming more violent, more depraved. He ended Tajiri's career.
Oh, no.
Got Funaki on the brain because of the road agent thing.
Yeah, that's why.
He ended Tajiri's career, and now he has to face up against Shelton Benjamin. It's his Judgment Day as well.
Mm. We're going to kick things off with Michael Cole and Taz. They're not kicking. I didn't think this was next. I kind of forgot about this. But either way, welcome to Judgment Day 2006. We got a good show. Hopefully.
I think it's good.
Opening. Nice. We've got the Cruiserweight Tag Team Championships on the line. One of our non-announced matches for tonight. Skipper and Rojo defending against the Pitbulls and Paul London and Funaki. They do it. They retain.
Hell yeah.
Anything else to say about this?
No, I don't think so.
All right, yeah, they go out there and they do the flips. Except for Jamie Noble. Jamie Noble doesn't do the flips.
Funaki doesn't really do the flips either.
No, Funaki tries. Watching Funaki try flips is like watching a toddler. Like, he's got the idea, but he can't really do it. He's just kind of throwing himself around. He's here. After weeks of being spotted in different places, he was in Canada.
Larry Sabini is here.
Yeah, Larry Sabini. That's who we're really talking about. Let's be honest. He's joined by his legal representation, Larry Sabini. The Cruiserweight champion, Gregory Helms, is here, and he's defending his championship tonight. Matt Striker is in a black room, and there's a chair. And he sits down in the chair, and he says, "Come here for a minute. Come sit under the learning tree, if you will." The tag team championship match tonight. LOD, two men with two brain cells for the two of them. They at least seem to understand basic math. Where I'm struggling is really with Rey Mysterio and Chavo Guerrero, because we both know that Dave Bautista has the mental capacity of a mildly intelligent bear. Rey, Chavo, with Chavo at ringside, you recognize that there's three of you. These are not trios championships last time I checked. Can you not do basic mathematics? Are you kidding me? Chavo Guerrero better stay out of that matchup, or else eventually, punishment will be given for punishment deserved. So yeah, I guess I should talk a little bit about this act. Matt Striker showed up on SmackDown, claimed that he was not having the success he wanted over on Raw, so he had to look into himself to improve himself. And when he looked into himself, he realized, well, he's the absolute best he can be. He's Matt Striker. He's a genius. And if you can't get better through introspection, sometimes you have to look outwards. And that's what he did by getting a giant monster of a man in Mike Knox to watch his back for him. I don't think we've seen these two wrestle a tag team match yet, but they have been talking a lot of shit about the different tag teams. Batista and Rey especially. Even some nice shots at the LOD in there.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god, it's him! Rob Van Dam makes his WWE return and beats Big Game Vito with a 5-star frog splash.
Hell yeah.
Afterwards, Rob Van Dam says he's back and he just beat Vito with a 5-star frog splash.
Buy my shirt.
Buy my shirt, indeed. Yeah, RVD's back. He's better than ever. He's ready to kick ass. And this time, he's aiming for the top. Todd Grisham is backstage with Chavo Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, and Batista. Puddy, do you want to do this one, or do you want me to just keep going?
I think you got this.
All right. So yeah, Rey and Dave talk a little bit about how they've repaired their friendship. They listen to each other on the SmackDown Go Home for the show. Rey saying that, you know, he puts in all this effort and he feels like Batista doesn't really see that effort or respect that effort. And Batista simply saying that, you know, Rey is fighting a lot of big battles and that takes a lot of stress on Batista. He feels like he has to be not so much of a caretaker for Rey Mysterio, but he's got to watch his back for his friend. And you know, that weighs on somebody after a long time. And these guys have certainly been a duo for a long time. But they're on the same page. And that's probably the best it's going to get right now for these two. You know, they went to war at WrestleMania. Didn't really resolve anything, and it finally took Chavo kind of taking a step back in his own career to, interest himself in these two and make sure that they are not going to come apart at the seams, quite literally. Chavo can also tell Matt Striker to go fuck himself. He's not out there to help Batista and Mysterio win. He's just there to make sure that nobody like a Matt Striker sticks his head where it doesn't belong.
Nice.
And here we go. Yeah, so Kurt Angle, after losing to Shelton Benjamin, was done. Quite literally done. He called Shelton out to the ring and told Shelton Benjamin that someday Shelton Benjamin will be the best in the world. But that's not right now. And the fact that Shelton is not the best in the world. And yet he had so handedly handled Kurt Angle over and over and over again. It told Kurt Angle all he needed to know. His time had passed. It was a short time. It was a good time. It was a successful time. But his time had passed. Taking exception to the allocation, to the bequeathment of the title best in the world from Kurt Angle onto Shelton Benjamin, Mr. Money in the Bank, Mr. Kennedy, blindsided Kurt Angle and took him out. And we believe that was it. He was going to go out like that, a beaten man. Mr. Kennedy had made his statement, even came out the next week. There was no sign of Kurt Angle. We were pretty certain that, that was just it. Until Angle returned and beat the hell out of Kennedy and told him straight to his face he wanted a match with him. That was on a SmackDown. Kurt Angle lost. Mr. Kennedy cheated to win, that wily bastard, and Kurt Angle couldn't take it. He said quite simply that he would, do anything for a rematch. He would go to any lengths. And Mr. Kennedy gave Kurt Angle 2 ultimatums. 1, it's a hardcore match. 2, if Kurt Angle loses, we stop doing this fake retirement shtick. If Kurt Angle loses, he's gone for good. And here we are. Yeah, that's respectable. That's respectable.
It's over.
Kennedy beats Kurt Angle in a hardcore match with the Kenton Bomb.
How does this happen?
He fucking did it. That crazy son of a bitch. I think it's tough to make the total argument as a viewer, I guess. I'm missing the word. As an observer, that's it. As an observer, it's hard to quite say what gave Mr. Kennedy the edge in this match, but I think if I could point to anything, it would be that hardcore stipulation. He cheated to win.
It's his depravity, Tucker.
Yeah, like
it's because Kurt can get hardcore. He's a wrestling machine. He can brawl and he can battle with the rest of it. I'm sure he's willing to use everything Kennedy is, but maybe he's just not willing to be quite as depraved. When Kennedy sticks his finger deep into Kurt's eye socket and rips the blood out of there, that's just not something Kurt Angle does.
Yeah, Kurt Angle's been a scumbag over his SmackDown tenure, but I guess he was a scumbag with some principles. And yeah, we just give Kurt a mic, and just let him do his thing. Hopefully he doesn't say TNA. That's all I can say.
We're paying him a lot of money.
We are. And trust me, if he was actually that angry, it would have said. There's like a note that's like he went crazy and like made insider references and confused everybody. They're all confused. They don't know what spot means.
Is that the end of Kurt Angle, by the way? We have anything else to say about that?
I mean, it definitely looks like the end of Kurt Angle. He put his career on the line and lost. There's no coming back from that. Surely. Up next, it's Booker T taking on the Boogeyman. The Boogeyman has haunted Booker T through his locker room. I believe the Boogeyman, his power seems to be somehow centralized in the locker room that Booker T is given on any given week. Wherever Booker ends up, that's where the Boogeyman must go. Maybe it's something about Booker specifically. Maybe it's something about, I don't know, just wherever Booker keeps getting placed. But either way, the Boogeyman was coming to get Booker T. But Booker T isn't afraid. Booker T isn't backing down. Booker T wanted the match, in fact. He asked Teddy Long for a contract, took it into the washroom of his locker room, and left it there all night. And came back at the end of our Go Home SmackDown. And signed at the bottom, in a mysterious black liquid, was the Boogeyman's name. And so here we go. The Boogeyman loses in like 2 minutes with a scissors kick.
I mean, he's barely a wrestler.
That's true. He's an actor. Maybe. Puddy, I'll let you do this one. I feel like I've been talking this whole time.
I mean, these are your stories, man. No, I feel like this is yours, man. The Boogeyman is your baby. You go.
The Boogeyman is my baby. Jesus. After the match, the Boogeyman slinks out of the ring injured very clearly. But Sharmel's there at ringside. And he worms her. Oh my god. He got her, and Booker T, who's, you know, he's celebrating a bit, recovering, because Boogeyman got in a couple shots there, but, you know, nothing. It's like a 2-minute long match, okay? It's nothing too stressful. Booker fully recovers, looks over, and sees it happening, and he is enraged. He rips apart the announce table and puts Boogeyman through the announce table with a bookend. And just looks at the monster. Defeated. Broken.
I think he quickly grabs his wife and gets the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Gets her out of harm. Not his wife, sorry. His platonic on-screen partner.
Yes, his associate.
Yep.
We get an ad for Raw in the Hammerstein Ballroom.
In 4 weeks' time.
4 weeks' time. An ad for SummerSlam with Teddy Long.
The biggest party of the summer.
Holla.
Get your tickets. It's going to be in the Highmark Stadium in Buffalo, New York. The biggest SummerSlam of all time.
What do you know?
Maybe.
All right, Puddy. This is your baby.
All right, yeah, no. Yeah, you're right. So Simon Dean comes to the ring with a man draped, or a figure draped in a cloak of some kind. Can't see who it is. A tarp almost over this man. And then he whips it off and reveals to you Idol Stevens. He gets on the mic and he says, "You all may not like it, but this is what peak male performance looks like. Now, not all of you can achieve this sort of physique, this power, this speed. This is reserved for the natural elite. However, reaching the best version of you, that's a little easier. Idol Stevens is the best version of Idol Stevens because of Simon Dean. You too can be a lean, mean Dean machine with my supplements and products available now." And then the heartthrobs will come out with some sexy women and both get on the mic and say that they think people should be all natural, just like Candice Michelle and Vanessa Vane here. And as Dean is about to respond, the lights go off. They come back on. A strange, creepy-looking woman in makeup is in the corner. The heartthrobs immediately leave. The women in the ring get beaten up, and Dean and Stevens look on and confused.
Eris Morgan. I guess I was changing his gimmick.
Sure.
Very good.
Hey.
Oh, it's the tag team title match.
Oh, what a rush.
Indeed, Chavo does not get involved. I have no clue where Matt Stryker would get that idea from.
Yeah.
Weird guy. I don't know him very well. He hasn't been around very much. But
who is he?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But either way.
Why is he here?
I know who our tag team champions are.
Hell
The
yeah.
Legion of Doom. They get it done against Batista and Mysterio. They beat Mysterio with a Doomsday device. And new. R-Truth is backstage with Joy. She's going to ask him about tonight. He's got the Cruiserweight champion Gregory Helms. What's he thinking ahead of his match? And R-Truth will say that Gregory Helms has been running. Let's be honest, that's what it is. He's been running. Because once the Truth arrived in WWE, he knew his time was limited. Gregory Helms is a tremendous champion, a tremendous competitor. But he knows something. The same thing that R-Truth knows. The truth. It'll set you free. You can't escape from it. And it's always the truth, isn't it? Truth is the truth. That's how it goes.
Nice.
Oh, it's Finlay. He's on the screen fighting people.
Yeah, we show highlights of his escapades, his defeats of the full-blooded Italians, of battles with Montel Vontavious Porter. Finlay has certainly brought a different element to this SmackDown locker room. The Fighting Irishman.
Speaking of Finlay, Taz is going to sit down with him.
I mean, earlier today, Taz did get to sit down with one of his best friends, Finlay, and they discussed topics such as his return to pro wrestling, his feuds with the Italians, other potential future feuds Finlay may have, and just have a good old conversation about it. And Finlay talks about how he's not always the most well received by the members of the locker room, but he doesn't really care. He's here to fight, he's here to win, and he's here to be successful, and that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, maybe Finlay doesn't care so much about what they think of him, as long as he has their respect. And if they don't have respect for Finlay, he'll beat it into them.
Hell yeah.
It's the United States Championship match. Swinger Parisi retains with the Long Island leg sweep.
What a glow up for Swinger in the last couple of weeks, winning this title off of Tajiri, and now making his first successful defense live on pay-per-view.
He's been on fire lately. He beat Tajiri for the belt. He beat Booker T on a SmackDown. Yeah, he's beaten MVP here. Big ups.
Revenging the loss from last Friday where MVP picked up the win and earned this shot.
Yeah, but I mean, to earn that shot, MVP, I can't say, I wouldn't say he really earned it, right, with the way that he got it. Yeah, I'll leave it. I'll leave you with that.
Hell yeah.
It's the tail of the tape. Cruiserweight Championship on the line. Truth, Helms. It's showtime.
I mean, we talked last time about Helms having gone through basically 2 generations of cruiserweights. He's got another big challenger here in R-Truth. He's been on fire lately. He's beaten guys like Chuck Taylor and Elix Skipper. I think he beat Chavo Guerrero in the number 1 contenders match a couple of weeks ago. That's a huge win. This is a massive cruiserweight match. Yeah, it's going to be a big one. Is this finally the time where Gregory Helms is dethroned from his championship that he's held since SummerSlam last year?
Will the truth reign supreme? No. Nightmare on Helm Street. I finally changed the name, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah. Gregory Helms makes defense number 11.
And still, your Cruiserweight champion.
Were you going to say something there? Or?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought I cut you off. My bad. Yeah, Helms beats Truth. He pulled the helm over the blind eyes of justice. Because Truth.
Do you think this was
his name is Helms,
his toughest opponent so far? We're talking about a guy who's beaten Rey Mysterio, Tajiri, Jushin Thunder Liger, Paul London, Jamie Noble.
Damn it. I wish I could go back to that R-Truth promo for half a minute, because I'd have lied about that. All right, you know what? I'll say it here anyways. I thought it was funny. She asked him, Gregory Helms, he's beaten a lot of great competitors, including Jushin Thunder Liger. And R-Truth will simply say, when did you ever see R-Truth lose to Jushin Thunder Liger. Didn't happen. I've never lost to Jushin Thunder Liger. And that makes me very good.
But he has now lost.
I've somehow
to Gregory Helms.
I somehow lost that. What the hell? I had that. That was such a great line. I like introduced it wrong or something. Fuck. Either way, the joke was gonna be that he's never lost to Jushin Thunder Liger either, so that makes them equals if anything.
Yeah. Well, now they're not though. Now Gregory Helms is.
Now Gregory Helms is better.
Ahead. I mean, who's gonna beat Gregory Helms? He's beaten everybody.
He has indeed beaten everybody.
Speaking of a man who's beaten everybody.
Beaten everybody. Woo.
So this feud has been going on for a long time. This began all the way back in the Cabinet era, where Mark Henry was trying to fight against JBL and allied himself with a common enemy of the Cabinet, the Undertaker. Mark Henry was forced into a casket and thrown into the Gulf of Mexico by the Cabinet. Undertaker, nowhere to be seen. Ever since then, Henry's held a grudge. He came back here at the end of last year and went after the Undertaker for that very grudge. It culminated in a casket match at WrestleMania that the Undertaker won, but Henry made it clear after WrestleMania that their feud was far from over. The two men went at it in a steel cage match, the result of which was Henry tackling the Undertaker through one of the walls of the cage, both men's feet hitting the floor at the same time, and the match being declared a draw. But as far as Henry was concerned, it was a win, because he walked out of the arena on his own 2 feet, whereas the Undertaker was so badly hurt that he could not. Taker clearly took issue with this the next week, attacking Henry, putting him through the announce table. Same kind of scenario. Mark Henry couldn't leave that night on his own power. And it's all led here, where this issue will probably be settled for good, as these men will have to put each other down once and for all in a last man standing match.
Mark Henry beats The Undertaker.
In a grueling affair, a bloody, violent, hard-hitting match. Both men throw everything they have at one another, including the steel steps and the announce table that they had only just brought out to replace the previously broken one, as Taker goes through it. And these men put everything on the line, but in the end, Mark Henry's just too good. And the Undertaker looks pretty badly beaten.
Game.
Just click it again.
Unavailable.
Oh, I'm not seeing unavailable.
Unavailable.
Let's return to booking screen. Oh.
Oh.
Interesting.
What did Mark have to do left, Sarge?
Oh, there was an angle. He probably can't do the angle. Yeah.
No, he's fine.
Let's just take Mark out of the angle.
Fair.
And continue on with the show. Let's keep Daivari in it, maybe?
Yeah, keep Daivari, yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay, continue.
That makes sense.
As Mark Henry is somehow taken to the back, Daivari says, "That's right, Undertaker! We got you! You're not leaving on your own accord," and looks up the ramp. Mark Henry probably being gurneyed off. We taught you.
And then the music stops, but we keep the camera on the Undertaker being attended to by medics, and clearly he's in a bad way. We've already lost one legend tonight. Is that the second?
My God.
My God.
I thought you were talking about Mark Henry.
No, I was talking about Taker and Kurt.
Yep. Video package. Yeah, Puddy.
Another feud that has gone back years. These two men fought over this very championship in the fall of 2004 on Monday Night Raw. Back then, it was Eddie Guerrero, Shelton Benjamin, Batista, Randy Orton. Those are huge names. All of those men have been world heavyweight champions since then. All four of them. And come back here, the two youngest, brightest sparks in the center of that quartet were Shelton Benjamin Randy Orton. Both guys, you could argue, in the best spot of their career. Randy Orton beat beat Chavo Guerrero in the main event of WrestleMania. Clean, easy, decisive. Randy Orton, probably one of the best in the world. He faced Tajiri in the aftermath of WrestleMania. Tajiri picked up an upset victory, earned a world title shot, but we saw with Randy Orton's words and Randy Orton's actions that Randy Orton learned a lesson from that defeat. And any sort of mercy and sort of overconfidence that Orton was developing is gone. What's being replaced is a ruthless, merciless wrestling machine, unwilling to do whatever it takes to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. He kicked Tajiri in the head. He ended his career. And tonight he's defending the championship against a man who didn't really lose the world title last fall. He beat Batista on a run of his own and then lost because Kurt Angle interfered in a match against Eddie Guerrero. Ever since, Shelton Benjamin has been too busy dealing with the fallout of his relationship with Kurt Angle to fight for the World Heavyweight title. Now that that's over, here he is, first opportunity back again in the main event. These two are the future of professional wrestling, and tonight they're going at it for the world title.
Here we go. Oh my God, okay. He did it. Also,
he did.
We scripted this, right?
Yes.
And there was still a lack of psych. Okay, good call on you, I guess. Good call.
But ignoring that, you're right. Shelton Benjamin has reached the mountaintop again. And this time by beating Randy Orton. He's beaten Batista for the world title, and now he's beaten Randy Orton. And you have to say, on both occasions, both men were at the peak of their run. This is an incredible victory from the gold standard, the man who's won almost everything there is to win here in the WWE, and he's back on top again. What an incredible victory.
And to close the show, it's a big celebration with all of our SmackDown favorites. Shelton Benjamin's champion.
The wrestling world has changed again.
Who do you want to talk to for this show, Puddy?
Kurt Angle.
Yeah, definitely Kurt. We're hugging Kurt. I demand it.
And Taker and Orton told they could do a bit better.
Got him. Fucking got him. Kurt Angle seemed pleased. We hug him and he's like,
okay, all right.
Undertaker didn't seem too concerned with your speech, at least for now. Is he gonna murder us?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, it didn't even show me the Randy Orton one.
Randy Orton doesn't give a shit. Well, yeah. What a show! I mean, we have a new World Heavyweight Champion. Gregory Helms continues his incredible run. New WWE Tag Team Champions. And Rob Van Dam's back in the WWE, and Mark Henry beats The Undertaker. What a show that was.
I'm going to throw up our credits real quick. Kabam! Thanks to those three.
And all our patrons, and if you wish to join them and get the shows one day early and some exclusive content such as the booking of WrestleMania, which is up right now, you can check out the link to our Patreon in the description.
As just a bit of a cap off on this episode really quick, if I can flip over here, I just want to give people a little bit of closure. We'll check out that Mark Henry injury. 6 days unavailable for bookings. No worries, I assumed. Well, for myself, for Puddy, for all of SmackDown, next time we see you, well, not SmackDown. SmackDown won't be seeing you for a while, but you'll see Raw, Vengeance, 27 days. We'll see you there. It will be emotional.
It's in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, okay.